So basically, for okay, right. Basically, when dealing with radios, so you know how in the movies and shit, you always hear people say Roger, repeat, and they say a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Forget all that. Never say repeat on a radio because that's for fire missions. That means they're good on target. Keep firing in that same location. But other than that, uh, comms in general, you when talking to each other, you're pretty good. Um, but I don't even know what to. So basically, for comms, you have uh, basic phrases. So there's two, which means who the message is going to. This, who's saying it. Say again, which you want them to ask. Again, I say again, which means you're repeating yourself. Read back, which is say what your last was, and then correction. You're never really going to be using that. You'll just say break and then correct yourself. Other than that, usually what we do for comms radio checks, it goes you, this is me, radio check over, Roger out, which pretty much means, so let's say my call sign would be Echo 2 Kilo, and yours would be Echo 3 Oscar. It would be Echo 3 Oscar, this is Echo 2 Kilo, radio check over. And you would, the person on the other end, or whoever is replying, would be Echo 3 Oscar, this is... No, Echo 2 Kilo, this is Echo 3 Oscar, Roger over, Roger out, which pretty much, what that means pretty much is, yeah, I'm reading you, keep going, and then you just carry on with your mission. So for radios, we have things called 9 lines and spot ports. Or basically, you have about 5 different kinds of reports you can do. The most basic is your sit rep or your situation report, which pretty much means line 1 would be date time group, which means your date, time, and what area of the world you're in, which this is armor, we don't have to worry about that. Friendly position, which pretty much means where you're at, which means it's either like, usually you want to give an 8-digit grid, but I don't know if you can do that in Arma or not, so 6-digit grids are probably usually fine. Activities since your last report.
How often are you sending those reports? How often are you sending
It's up to the command, usually.
What's typical? 15, 30 minutes? Hour?
Depends on your situation. If you're just going on a patrol in like a friendly area, like once an hour, but if you're like in a combat zone, yeah, like every 15, 30 minutes. It all depends on your situation. Then you'd give your activity since your last report, so like, hey, we took contact in this area. Just go requirements, pretty much what you need. You're low on water, low on ammo. Personal casualties, so how many people have died or been injured, and remarks, so anything past that isn't covered, so like, hey, we spotted some people, which is an entirely different report, called the spot report, which I'm about to get into. Spot report, that's actually the next thing, actually. What a spot report is pretty much, hey, we saw either a friendly or an enemy or a bunch of civilians, and it's important enough that we need to tell command about it so they can say, hey, there's people in this area, either we're going to get you more people to reinforce you or just keep going with whatever mission you're doing. Line wood. Oh, I thought you were throwing a grenade for a second. Like, Jesus Christ. Line 1 would be the event, so hey, yeah, we saw 6 Hajis just north of us. Time of the event, so like 1534. Example, location of friendly, which means where your location is at. What actions you took, so if you're like on a recon patrol, you can say you observed them and you didn't really engage them, or if you're a combat patrol, you would engage them, and that's an entirely different report. Detainees, you captured them. Weapon and equipment of them, and any remarks, so anything that's not covered by that.
So on a patrol, you would basically would you send like an ace report? You know what I mean, basically.
Yeah, that's you're sending an ace report pretty much.
And for Justin, just tell Justin what an ace report is. I guess basically what you said, but it stands for like ammo, medical, and equipment.
Right, so for us, how we were taught, so ace report is actually very simple. It's only like really three things the way we were taught. Ace report is, hey, we just finished engaging the enemy. Then the fire team leader would be pretty much a rifleman. Ace report. The rifleman would say 3 magazines. So many magazines you have left? 3 magazines. All equipment up. No casualties. A gunner ace report. He'd say the same thing. And gunner ace report. He'd say the same thing. The fire team leader would report to the squad leader and so far up the command. Just to say, oh, hey, yeah, we have everyone accounted for, or we have casualties. That's pretty much what an ace report is. Yep. And now we're getting into our 9 lines, which are like, these are longer ones, like more official things, asking for shit pretty much. First 9 line is your CASEVAC, casualty evacuation. Line 1, you literally like just say line 1, line 2, line 3. That's how you usually report it, so you're not, the person writing it down isn't like overwhelmed. Line 1 would pickup grid, where you're at, either an 8-digit or 10-digit grid. 10-digit grid is preferable because it's more accurate. It's literally, remember correctly, 6-digit grid is within 100 meters, 8-digit grid is within 10 meters, and an 8-digit grid is within 10 meters, and a 10-digit grid is within literally like 1 meter of that spot. Given the pickup grid and what your frequency is and your call sign, so if the pilot contact with you, he can. Number of casualties / patients. This is further broken up into Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, which Alpha is urgent, which means like they're gonna fucking die. B is priority, which means they have a gunshot wound to like the leg. They're stable, but we need to get them to a hospital soon. And C is routine, which means like, yeah, they rolled their ankle or something. They can walk, but they need to see a corpsman. Special equipment required. This is further broken up into Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, and Echo, which would be Alpha is none, B is a hoist, C is a fuck, what is C? I'm trying to remember now.
I like C.
Charlie is a litter. Charlie is a litter. E is other. So like if you need specialized equipment for some reason. The next line would be number of patients by type. It's Alpha, Lima, and Echo. Which Alpha is ambulatory, which means they're walking wounded. What? Oh. Stop then. Alpha is ambulatory, L is litter, and E is escort. Like if they have like a spinal injury and you can't really move them,
gotcha.
you get a litter. It's a stretcher pretty much.
Alright.
And E is escort. So like if you're like currently being engaged by hostiles and you need to bring people to help you.
Alright, gotcha.
So security of the PZ or DZ or LZ, however you want to classify it. Then this is further. It's November, Papa, Echo, and X-ray, which would be November is no enemy. Papa is possible enemy, and Echo is enemy in the area, and X-ray is you're currently taking contact and you need armed escorts for the helicopter. Next line is method of marking, like how are you going to mark the drop zone or pickup zone. Alpha is panels, like signal mirror, pretty much. E is pyrotechnics, fire and shit. D is smoke. D is none. E is echo. Echo is other, I mean. Next line is casualty, nationality, and status. This is further broken up into Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, which means Alpha is U.S. military, Bravo is U.S. civilian, Charlie is non-U.S. military, Delta is non-U.S. citizen, Echo is prisoner of war, and Foxtrot is child. Then after that, you'd give like the details of the pickup, which means like, hey, it's in the middle of a fucking forest, or so on and so forth.
Hey, so basically though, I mean, as far as comms wise, like as far as setting up radios and channels, right? Fire teams should have their own radio channel.
Yes.
Squad leader should have his own, and then like let's say you deploy 2 squads, so the squad leaders on the same channel, or are they on different channels with their fire teams essentially?
You would have, so the fire teams would have, so it would be, so if you have a fire team channel, it would be the fire team leader, rifleman, gunner, and a gunner, and then and then above them, all the fire team leaders. The squad leader would have a channel just for themselves.
Okay, so if the squad leader wants to talk to, I mean, how do you guys break down fire teams by colors? Because essentially in Arma, that's all it has, like for the breakdown. So like if I'm the squad leader and I want to talk to red, I would just say, red team, this is Alpha 1-1 actual, and like what's your sit rep, and they would be on their own channel, right?
Yeah, you just go to their channel.
Alright.
That's, I mean, like in Arma, because we won't have like 7 channels we can have, right?
Yeah, I don't know what the max is, but
yeah. Like I know it's not as high as, and on our Prick 17s, I think they are. Yeah, on our Prick 17s, we have up to 99 programmable settings on it, and up to 9 active channels.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, so I'm just saying for like us, our thing would be like having, essentially like every fire team would have its own channel. Then the squad leader would have a channel, and then he would have a channel that reaches up to like command, if you will, who we'd call in Kaz, or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
And then Kaz would have, I would presume Kaz would be on the same channel as command, even though they wouldn't do anything until command tells them.
You can do it that way.
That's what I was kind of figuring it. But as far as like comms, I guess what you would say, like, I don't know, comms discipline. Like,
Yes.
go over some comms discipline.
For your fire teams, it's not really gonna matter, because if we do that way, for each fire team is gonna have their own channel, so it's only gonna be 4 people, maybe a bit more, but usually only 4 people in the fire team on that channel. So comms discipline wouldn't really be much of an issue, but once you get to the squad level, the platoon level, so on and so forth, that's when you would have to like not. You don't.
What are you doing, dude? On a butterfly? Alright.
But after that, like,
Hey, I could predict.
past,
I'm about to say, I can predict the next POW. When that Kaz helicopter takes off, I can tell you who it's leaving.
Cobalt.
Anyway, go ahead, man. Sorry.
So, but like, fuck, stop moving us. So pretty much, once you get higher than fire team, that's when comms discipline will be an issue. That, hey, you're not talking unless you actually have something to report or say, and other than that, that's pretty much it. Just not talking unless you're communicating something up the chain of command.
So let's just
Like
an example, man. Like give us a good example. Let's say you got one tango that's like over at this hill or something. Like how would you report that on the fire team level? Like those guys up on the hill up there.
Alright, so pretty much,
like you saw that up the hill. How'd you fucking report that shit?
oh shit.
Don't shoot them. They're friendly, actually.
Oh shit, there? Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
they
so
But they be
fire
killing.
team, it would be whoever would spot them would say, hey, yo, we got one guy? Yeah. We got one possible enemy contact about, let's say, let me actually do it. Oh fuck, I don't have RCO on. 500 meters out, unknown, 1 times small arms, and then he'd report that to the fire team leader. Fire team leader would send a spot report
To the squad leader?
to the squad leader, and with the squad leader, I mean, since it's usually if it's like only one guy, you wouldn't send it up the chain of command further than that. You can if he's like an actual threat to your mission, but then from there it's up to the squad leader. But let's say he is a threat, squad leader would send it up to the platoon. Yeah, it'd be the platoon commander in this case. If we are operating at that size, which I doubt because there's only like 30 of us. But it'd send it up to the platoon commander, and he would send it up to COC, and COC would send it up to command, and command would say, okay, yeah, take him out, and it'd go back down the line, or if COC actually bothers to, which they usually don't, just get on the fire team's frequency and say, hey, yeah, go ahead, you're free to engage. You engage them, and then you say, hey, we engaged them, took no casualties. You send that the report back up the chain of command.
Alright, that's cool. So basically, yeah. Basically, you spot it, you report it up to your fire team leader, who then calls it out. Now, like, you wouldn't typically just engage that hostile, unless you're already in combat, right? Like, if you're already being shot
unless, at. Usually, unless they present a clear and present danger, no, you would not just, oh yeah, he has a weapon, I'm going to take him out. But that also depends on the ROE, the rules of engagement, which is up to the commander. Like, hey, it used to be like, hey, he has a weapon, you're free to shoot him. And then after you kill him, you just report, hey, yeah, we killed this guy.
Okay, gotcha. And so, like, how do squads, or I guess how do fire teams work together with a squad? It's pretty much, suppress and maneuver, correct?
Yeah, and then for coordinating, you would use for that.
You would use what?
If the fire team leaders would communicate on the squad frequency.
To the squad lead.
Yeah, and then they would also communicate amongst each other on the squad, because that would be operating on a squad level.
Okay, cool, man. I think that's good enough. Do you guys want to fuck some
There's
shit
actually
up?
only 2 more reports actually.
Oh, go ahead, dude. Might as well spit them out.
Alright. Basra, which...
Now, I got a question. Do you guys say belay my last?
What?
Do you guys use belay my last?
No.
Was a yes
We
or
say
no?
correction. We say correction.
Oh, that must be a Navy thing then. We say belay my last. If we
Yeah,
fuck
we
something
don't.
up.
No, we don't say that. We say correction.
Copy.
I shoot you if you say that again.
What? Copy? Affirm? What am I supposed to say again? Go over that shit again one more time, man, so I can get the jargon right.
I'm gonna pull it up. I had it saved on my phone, like all the jargon.
Yeah, pull that shit, dude. Fucking post that shit on fucking Discord
Oh.
so we can all fucking look at that shit.
I'll post all of this on Discord.
Copy. Roger.
Say it. Where is it?
Hey, don't shoot me! Don't shoot me!
I told you I would. I'm a man of my word.
Hey, you know what Marine stands for? You know what Marine stands for? My ass
Yeah,
rides
I
in
do.
Navy equipment. I'm in the Navy. I was in the Navy, so I help you get from point A to point B, Marine. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down.
You
Calm
also
down.
need the shit equipment.
Hey, because you get the secondary budget, bud. We gotta make sure we got aircraft carriers. Your tanks aren't that important.